Hello, friends. Today I want to talk a little bit more about the ancient Yamas and Niyamas. Patanjali condensed or took from the ancient texts 5 Yamas and 5 Niyamas. These are the restraints in thought, word, and action. That's the Yamas. And the things to put energy into, the niyamas, the things to cultivate in ourselves. And he took from the ancient text just 5 each. However, many texts, including the Upanishads, list 10 each, 10 yamas, 10 niyamas. And so we have been exploring in recent talks some of the other yamas that we were not generally familiar with yet. And so today I'll talk about another one. This is called Dhriti. This is the idea of never giving up, of persevering to reach the goal. And that is what each of us needs to do. We can't give in to weakness. We can't define ourselves by limitation. It's all too easy to say, oh, but I'm only human. We are human, but we are also divine. We are in this frail human body that is so susceptible to virus and accident and suffering of all kinds. And yet we are so much more than that. We are the divine soul having a human experience, and we can never allow ourselves to be defined by the limiting idea that we are only human. We have to constantly draw our minds up. It's very important to do this, to keep our minds positive and identified more and more deeply with soul consciousness, with the realization of God within us. And so Dhriti is that idea of never giving up, always trying again, always picking ourselves up, dusting ourselves off, and continuing to try no matter what. And thinking about Dhriti, I was reminded of the situation the British were in World War II. They stood alone against Hitler and his marauding forces. It was a frightening, terrifying situation. And yet, because of Churchill's amazing leadership and his ability to inspire people to stand firm for the truth and to fight and to not give in to the terror, it was through that perseverance that finally America and other nations came to the aid of Britain to fight against this terrible consciousness. And there are dark forces that try to get us to sleep too much, to eat too much, to not exercise, to not meditate. The list goes on and on. That stupefying force that just wants us to be wallowing in the mud of sense consciousness and giving in to every little pain and every little whim. But we have to be strong. We have to be soldiers of the light. We have to keep moving towards God. We will never give up. Like the words of Winston Churchill, never, never, never give in. We will never give up. And that's how we have to be. Yogananda gave a colorful little story. He said, A and B are fighting. And they fight punch after punch after punch until finally both of them are exhausted. Both of them feel that they cannot possibly muster one more punch. But A says, I will give it one more punch, and wins. So we just have to keep trying, no matter what. So say we have a bad habit and we think, oh no, I've done it again. I've done it again. I just want to give up. I can't resist. We have to keep resisting. Keep trying. Keep drawing God into it. Keep feeling God at this point between the eyebrows, at the spiritual eye. And even if you are in the midst of practicing this bad habit yet again, pray continuously at this point, God, here I am doing it again. Please help me to resist this. I don't want to do this. I want to be with you. You have to help me. You have to take this away. And lo and behold, He will. We cannot give up. Swami Kriyananda had an experience once when he was first starting Ananda village and he was trying to put up a temple. And it was a geodesic dome. He was trying to get the braces up and then staple this plastic on top of it. And he had a very stiff staple gun. It was very difficult to squeeze the staples in this gun. And after some hours of squeezing this staple gun, his hand was just exhausted. But he had to get it done. There were rains coming. And so he said, okay, just one more. And after that, just one more. And he said that he did this, just giving it everything he had, just one more time, and one more time. And then finally, he could squeeze it easily. He had somehow overcome that weakness, and then he had no more trouble the whole day. He was able to do it easily. Athletes find this too. There's a second wind that comes when we feel that we just cannot give it anything else. There's nothing left. We persevere, put one foot in front of the other, then we find a second wind comes like a grace, and we can keep going and going and going. So when trials howl at us, we have to feel that we are not doing anything by our own steam. We are really channeling God's energy in whatever endeavor we are in. We may think it's all me. I'm the one doing it. It's my energy. It's me, because of my personality, I'm able to do this. Think again. It's God working through you. It's God's energy. If God forgot about us, even for a moment, we would cease to exist. We exist, we live and move by God's grace. And so let's channel that grace and draw on that grace. We have infinite cosmic resources to draw from. And yet we get afraid in our little frail form that, oh, what's going to happen to me, poor little me? You are the cosmic Atman, the great master of the universe. He is flowing through you. You can't do it by yourself. You are not God, but God can flow through you. And so take advantage of that and never give up. This mundane consciousness is not our true home. Why live in it? Live in this world as a child of God, feeling His energy, feeling His joy, His love, His peace flowing through you. And anything less than that is not really who you are. And so let's keep on moving towards that elevated consciousness, whereas that beautiful chant, Desire My Great Enemy, says in its last verse, then you won't have to fear anything anymore. So let's meditate on this Yama of Dhriti, perseverance, and let us work towards achieving that goal of oneness with God. Let's give it one more punch, one more. God bless you.